Mic check 1, 2. Welcome back to another episode of BitmonkeyTV. Good morning, HODLers. Today we have a unique one. It's probably going to be short and sweet. We hope you enjoyed the new schedule. The new schedule being popping up for anybody just tuning in here for the first time this year. I'm not even signed in. That's funny. Looks like Miley Cyrus is highly touted here in Portugal. At BitmonkeyTV. That's because I'm using Google Chrome. This is our new schedule. Next week, we're going to keep it moving. Same schedule and everything. As far as like the theme of the days, we'll be doing some fun stuff for the Cozyverse show. Today, I wanted to talk about Moral Monkey Mob. Let's open a Brave browser. I haven't watched this yet, but I don't know anybody else who's excited for Casey Neistat being back, vlogging. I gather inspiration from him for sure. With some ideas, and I see what water he's drinking there. That's awesome. Right. MoralMonkeyMob.com. Now, the contest this year has not started, but I did want to reflect on this past year. When we first set out to do this, I made this commitment to the community before any clarity of VCon. Was it like before we had any clarity on the process of how to get to VCon, of how would the ticket systems work? Early on, before they were going to be separate NFTs, before you could loan them out, right? It was very exclusive. Gary Vee said, if you don't have a Series 1, you don't get in. Simple as that. Well, he went back on his word, unfortunately, right? Or fortunately, he actually made it more accessible for more people. Now, the reason I brought that up is I've had to go back on my word this year. Now, even through all of that, even through all of the saying one thing, doing the other, and I understand that man is running a ton of different businesses. I have nothing but admiration and respect for him and what he continues to do. But I simply couldn't keep my commitment anymore, right? It came down to a point where, do I believe in the future value of Bitcoin, or do I believe in the future value of these NFTs more than I do in Bitcoin? And at the end of the day, the NFTs had to go, right? So I did get rid of two monkeys. Shout out to Ross, and I'm blanking on his pop's name, but father and son, the son's helping the father really acquire a big bag of V-Friends, and Ross is working on his own. I'm not going to give too much alpha on that, but I had a great conversation with him. So I'm wishing them all the best of luck. They have some good looking bags as far as Series 1 specs, and even Series 2. So, but going back to the mob, what was it originally? Originally, it was 5 people for the next 3 years, round trip airfare and hotel expenses for the lucky winners each year. Year 1 was fantastic. I think it was a great success. While there were certain things that I know I could have done better on, at the end of the day, everything I did was, nobody expected anything right out the gate. People were a little shocked that we were giving so much, right? And I don't regret it. Made a lot of good friends, lifelong friends through the process. And just the look on everybody's face at the end of VCon made me feel very good for what I did for everybody. But this year, unfortunately, we got to scale down. So it's going to be either 2 or 3 people. I'm not sure yet. I might have to flip a third Moral Monkey, pending some other things I'm working on. This isn't the only thing I'm doing. I'm still working with Web 2 clients. I am still working on other streams of revenue, right? And as soon as those become more consistent, who knows? Maybe this goes back to 5 people. Maybe I go back to Ross and his pops and buy those Moral Monkeys back, right? I didn't really say I would do that, right? I didn't want to make that type of promise, but they said if you ever need help acquiring V-Friends back, right? Just hit us up, right? Because good people are good people, and they see good people, and they're good people. They saw I'm good people, and I'm sure we'll work something out in the future when I'm ready to buy more VeeFriends back. But until then, you know, given how many times Gary has gone back on his word with, first of all, you know, let's revisit something. Can't say it enough. I have nothing but respect and admiration for Gary Vee. He has taught me so much with his free content. I pretty much modeled my first 2 businesses around all of his content. I learned how to price new clients in a new industry that was foreign to me. You know, getting paid on retainer was very foreign to me. I was always an hourly person, right? A high hourly wage, but hourly nonetheless. And through Gary Vee's content, I learned how to approach customers, new customers, approach my old clientele a little differently. And I can't say it enough. Like, I got nothing but respect for him. However, receipts. There are a ton of receipts of him saying one thing at the beginning and going back on certain things that he says. So I don't feel as bad for scaling down the Moral Monkey Mob. At first, it was eating me up inside. I was like, I hate going back on my word. That's just one thing that I'd like to pride myself in, being impeccable with my word. And I'll be honest, this past year with certain things that came up, I had to go back on my word. It's as simple as that. And it chewed me up inside. But looking back on, you know, the number of things that Gary has gone back on his word of, I don't feel as bad for having to scale it down. So there's a silver lining in everything, you know. And that's the explanation, just a very quick one. If you want to jam on this, let's pop in the Discord. We're going to be doing a Moral Monkey Mob year 1 reunion as soon as possible. I'm going to reach out to everybody to see if they want to hop on a little jam sesh. We do a little video conferencing. Maybe we'll mimic the Hangout Hawk. And maybe we do that once a year moving forward, if everybody's interested. I know a ton of the mob, you know, they're still in school. They have full-time jobs. So families, and it's really tough to get everybody together, but I know we're all excited to talk again, to see each other again. And yeah, what to expect for year 2. So year 2, the biggest thing is it's most likely just going to be 2 people we're bringing, and the airfare and hotel will not be covered, at least as of now. Now, if something here changes for me, as I'm still going, every day I move forward, every day I continue, you know, I'm not giving up on this new way of life, so to speak, right? This Web3 first way of life that I chose after retiring from that IT industry, after retiring from a ton of cash flow, which I didn't realize was going to affect me the same way, you know, or the way that it has. I thought I would pick up much quicker. It's taking a bigger time frame for me to really get back on that train, so to speak, of cash flow, but I get there nonetheless. That has affected, you know, that offering of round trip airfare and hotel expenses. Because as you know, something like that is tax deductible depending on what it's for, right? But right now, cash flow is much different, and we have, you know, winter's here, so I'm here just preparing. I've been preparing, and that's why the decision. So I've already started reaching out to a few people who last year, they got to the final rounds. Shout out Jonathan. What's up? True OG, always here. Tries to make it as best he can. Hope you're doing well. Good evening, good sir. What's up, Zen? What's up? Sorry, I didn't say hi first, but just want to get rolling with it because I know I'm late. I went for a run as soon as I woke up today. My sleep schedule's been all fucked. I woke up like 2 hours ago and I was groggy. I'm still groggy, but went for a nice light jog and realized right at the time I was supposed to start, shit, I'm supposed to be back home. So I ran back home. I haven't even showered yet. Need to go get to it. Year two. I'm reaching out to some notables from last year who, you know, DM'd me saying, hey, I don't care about the flight and the hotel expenses. I can make it there on my own. But I would like the access, right? So instead of having a contest for year 2, if you were in year 1's contest, I want to reward you as best I can. But as I mentioned, the round trip airfare and hotel expenses at this moment cannot be covered. Now, if you need some help with the flight, a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there, I can help. I'll do my best to help if I have to, because I want to make it work. But that's kind of the gist of it right now. We'll be making a more official announcement here pretty soon, but I just wanted to do a live stream jam. And anybody who's interested in Moral Monkey Mob Year 2, simply send them to this video. And as soon as we have a little more clarity in the coming weeks, I'm going to Germany here pretty soon. So probably by March, you'll start hearing a lot more of season 2 Moral Monkey Mob. And then by April, we'll have our decisions made as far as, we're also waiting to hear back. So by April, you'll know exactly, who's coming and who's selected and so forth. So yeah, that's it. Anybody got any questions? Just wanted to jam real quick, hold myself accountable, give an explanation, even though I didn't really need to, right? But I feel obligated, and I feel like it was my responsibility, and I had to hold myself accountable. And yeah. Boom, boom. Now, who's ready for the Cozyverse show? I gotta say, I'm excited for the Cozyverse show, the consistency of that one, especially as they drop their next game, HODLers. That's gonna be a fun one. Oh, and on a lighter note, Dookie Dash. You're probably like, what the fuck is this? If you're in the Yuga Labs ecosystem or have been following along, they dropped air passes to their Bored Ape Yacht Club, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, and Bored Ape Kennel Club. Holders, 4 different tiers. As you know, I didn't mint any of those, right? But I did acquire some sewer passes for the sake of flipping and playing the game, creating content. So I'm gonna start streaming Dookie Dash. I haven't played too much, but we still have about, close to 2 weeks to play, right? They closed the gaming on February 8th. So that was on Wednesday. It would have been 2 weeks from Wednesday. So this weekend, I'm probably gonna pop on, just stream, maybe 3-4 hours, however long I feel like playing. But my 49ers are in the title game, so I will be watching a ton of football here. My sleep schedule is probably going to continue to be all out of whack until football season is over. I'm a dedicated motherfucker when it comes to my team and my peoples. So that's it is what it is. Thanks, Pops, for raising me on the best team in the world. Oh, sorry, Gary, but the Jets ain't shit compared to the 49ers. Gotta love it. Fun talking shit. All right. Yeah. Let me know if you want to see Dookie Dash. Maybe I'll do it today. After this stream, gonna pop off, make some dinner, do some laundry. It is Friday. Might actually go grab some dinner. A little treat myself. My vegan joint is only open for dinner on weekends. Weekdays, I tried driving there, I think, on Tuesday, and they were closed. New hours for the winter, since it's not as busy. Because here in Portugal, there are not many plant-based folk. As a matter of fact, like veganism is more, and I hate using that word, because personally, I don't call myself a vegan. I just say I'm plant-based. And the reason being is I still believe in certain clothing that could be utilized that came from an animal without killing the animal. And believe it or not, back in Oakland, back in Berkeley, all my friends would always want to introduce me as the vegan early on when I started, the diet, just to see how it would feel. I didn't do it for any other reason but myself. Didn't do it for the ego. Didn't do it for the opinions of others because everybody else was doing it. I think I started right before the trend started. But I had some crazy fucking people yell at me because a friend would introduce me as vegan and I would just say, hey, I'm plant-based, listen, I eat plants, that's it. And you'd get in heated arguments because they notice you're wearing wool or some shit. It's just ridiculous what people try to fit you into their mold. And if you don't fit their mold, that cancel culture, we're seeing a lot of it. So one suggestion I have for anybody watching this, just be you, do you, focus on you, forget about the outside noise, You'll be much happier, I swear. But that's why I am plant-based, not vegan. At least that's why I use those terminologies. So, and yeah, holding myself accountable. There's a lot of people I need to reach out to. Going through kind of what happened towards the end of the year, the surprises that I had in life, it's derailed the shit out of me. And there's a lot of connections that I just let go of. A lot of friends I didn't get back to. Family I ignored. I hate to say it, but I really, when I go through shit like that, I focus inward. I don't focus outward. I don't depend on others to get me through something, right? I depend on myself. And if you can't depend on yourself to get through trials and tribulations and roadblocks, so to speak, then you're setting yourself up for failure. That's just my opinion. Now, never been married. Do want a wife and kids. In a matter of time, that will happen. But, the last thing I'm going to do is depend on, someone like that to get me through hardships. I'd rather do it myself. So, but yeah, holding myself accountable for the mob, for life, for this past, few months. But I'm excited to be back on the show, excited to be back streaming. And that's about it. That's about all I got for today. I didn't write a script, nothing. It was Moral Monkey Mob Season 2, hold myself accountable, explain what's happening, explain why in the briefest way possible, let you know what to expect this coming week. And I think I did a solid job. I definitely did what I wanted to do with today's show. So, any questions? I know Zen and Jonathan, y'all were both in the mob. What's good? What is good? Hey, are you still gonna reach out to volunteer, or would you like to not volunteer this year? Because I know you're based out of Illinois, right? So that's a short hop, skip, and a step away from Indianapolis. I remember driving from Chicago to Indianapolis, and it was actually really quick, right? 3-4 hours, maybe. Let's talk. Are you going to VCon year 2? You already have your way in. Let's talk. As I mentioned, the end of year 1 too is just like, I think I did say like, hey, I'm going to pay attention to who sticks around after this. And got to be honest, you're the real OGs right here. You and Gary and a few others, you're the real OGs. And let's get you to VCon. All right. Without squirrel ado, this has been another episode of BitmonkeyTV. Short and sweet. This one's just recapping Moral Monkey Mob year 1, what to expect with year 2, some personal things, some dookie dash, and yeah. That's a wrap. This has been another episode of BitmonkeyTV. Good morning, HODLers. Stay tuned for some collabs. I actually need to reach out to a few people. I miss interviewing. I miss collabing. And you just might see a guest co-host for one of these Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or possibly a weekend show. I don't want to tease too much out the gate, but I'm very excited for this collab. And make sure you hit that like, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss when we go live. And if you're not already in the Discord, bitmonkey.tv/Discord. Take you there, come chat. I always try to go in the lounge, at least moving forward as often as I can. We're going to play some games in there. We'll answer some questions. You have any technical requests? One thing I'm working on is content around hot versus cold versus vault. Hot versus cold versus vault. I've been seeing even some OGs. Now, what I'm about to say is not for everybody, but the advanced users, this doesn't really apply to. And here's why I'm saying it, because the advanced users know to reference Etherscan, know to reference, and I want to show everybody how to do this, what contract address they're signing this blind message for. Because a lot of the time these messages are hashes, right? You just see a whole bunch of numbers and characters. So you don't really know the meaning of what you're signing. However, if you go into Etherscan and check that contract address that you're signing to, right? You can get a better understanding of what you're signing. And I want to show everybody how to do that. But I made a post the other day, and It might have been misunderstood just a wee bit. But, you know, if you have a vault, or more importantly, if you have a cold storage wallet, and my definition of cold storage is you send and receive. That's it. You send and receive. You don't sign, you don't approve, nothing. If you're going into OpenSea and naming it and adding a banner, you're technically signing something. So do that at your own risk. If you're an advanced user, by all means, do what you do, right? But if you are just entering the space, I would recommend don't go naming your OS profiles until you're confident, right? Because what I foresee happening is somebody new Googling OpenSea instead of going to OpenSea.io. They get a sponsored ad because they don't have the proper protection or pop-up blocker or you know, built-in pop-up blocker with their browser. They go to a malicious site that looks almost identical. They just got done sending all of their most valuable assets to this hardware wallet, right? And what do? They go and sign a message to name their OS profile on a malicious website. What ends up happening? All your NFTs get swiped. They're gone, right? That's why I posted that, because not everybody is advanced. A majority of the people in this space, coming into this space, are not advanced. All the advanced users are already in this space. You don't need a computer science degree to figure this shit out. You just need common sense and patience. Because the FOMO, the fear of missing out, is what rushes people into transactions. I know naming OS profiles really have nothing to do with it, but naming OS profiles really have something to do with ego. I hate to say it, but they really do. So just check that shit at the door. Make sure you don't sign any messages that you don't understand. That was the purpose of the post. Don't sign a message. If you don't truly know what the fuck it means, don't sign it, period. Gain clarity on what it means and then sign it if you know. Through that process of figuring out what that message is about, you'll learn a lot more about the blockchain, how to navigate the blockchain. And when I say the blockchain, we're talking about Ethereum here, and how to navigate Etherscan. That's a big key. Learn Etherscan, learn how to search the contract address or the receiving address of what you're about to sign a message to, approve that address, right? Make sure it's not malicious, cross-reference, maybe Reddit posts. I mean, you'd be surprised. A lot of these scams, you know, people bring it up immediately in Reddit posts and forums. And you'll find the evidence of that contract address, whether it's malicious or not, if you know where to look and how to look. So I'm going to dedicate an episode around this. If you got offended by anything I said, I'm sorry, but it's the hard truth. It is the hard truth. People are getting scammed left and right. And I'm seeing a lot of big figures and influencers in the space who are really new in the space. They really only came in after 2017, which makes sense why they're being scammed. Hate to say it, makes sense that they're able to get scammed because they simply don't have as much knowledge, right? And a lot of them I see have their ego tied to their vaults, right? They need to name their vaults. They want to name their cold storage. Just let go of that. Let go of that. You don't need to do that. Now, if you're an advanced user, by all means, go do your thing. Do that. But if you're a new user and you're just naming your wallets for the sake of naming your wallets because you want to be known for these assets, proceed at your own risk. All right, proceed at your own risk. Make sure you're properly protected. Make sure you have, I'd recommend Malwarebytes Premium paired with an antivirus, right? Or because Malwarebytes covers your hidden stuff, the keyloggers, the screen captures, the rootkits, you know, all the stuff that hides behind the scenes that don't want to be known. Malwarebytes is great for, and I highly recommend getting the premium version. You can try the trial for 14 days. And then you pair that with a traditional antivirus, right? Something that isn't as sharp with malware and rootkits, but it's, you know, Windows Defender is built into Windows. I always recommend using something a little bit different, but it's entirely up to you. But one thing to keep in mind is you never want two pieces of malware protection running at the same time, because they could actually be counterproductive and allow more vulnerabilities than they're blocking. So keep that in mind. And then number two, pop-up blockers. uBlock Origin is free. It's fucking awesome. I'm going to pull it up right now. So a lot of these people getting quote unquote hacked, they're going in and they're Googling whatever the fuck they're looking for, right? Now, if this was disabled, let's see what it looks like. Also with Brave disabled. Now, it's not going to show up for me, possibly because I've tweaked my browser a little bit more, but chances are your browser here is going to be showing a whole bunch of sponsored bullshit ads, right? You're going to see sponsored OpenC, but it's going to have a double E, or it's going to look almost identical, right? This is how people are getting scammed. They're using a search engine to go to a website that they already know the name of, right? So how about you just do that instead, right? I don't know. Favorite that if you need to. But the reason I want to bring this up, uBlock Origin, I've personally been using it. Shit, what year did I discover this? At least maybe 15, 16. When did it come out? Yeah, it came out in 14. So yeah, right around 15, 16 is when I discovered it. And then by 17, I was using it religiously because they do have a paid version, but they're free, open source, and they work across all browsers. And what they do is they get rid of all the sponsored ads. All the sponsored ads on Google go away once you install this. Keep in mind, some websites do require that you don't have a pop-up blocker enabled, right? So you disable it when you need to. You simply press the shield, press that power button like I was just showing you, trying to show the sponsored ads. But I've clearly done a little more to my systems to make sure I never see those sponsored ads. But that's right there is the biggest hack right now is user error. It's user error. It's people searching the website they want to go to and clicking on a sponsored ad, not doing their due diligence. Now, another thing to keep in mind is on mobile, you might not see as much information about that page. You might not see that little tooltip that says it's sponsored, right? So always make sure you have a pop-up blocker on search engines because it will filter out all the bullshit sponsored spam that gets forced to the top, that gets paid to be put at the top to take advantage of you. So that's it. That's a security tip for today. We covered a lot, kind of went off topic, kind of squirreled. I was about to end the episode and then I went off on a rant because I'm very passionate about this. It's sad to see, but I honestly, tough shit, lesson learned. Learn from it. Everybody's going to get hacked at one point. Learn from it. Happened to me early on. I made mistakes early on for sure. And I'd be happy to share them, but it's kind of irrelevant at this point. So because all of the scams and the hacks have evolved and become so much more advanced, people are really taking the time to infiltrate communities, become people's friends, and then scam them, a year down the road. We've already seen a ton of that in VFriends land, a ton of that in the Bored Ape Yacht Club land. It's tough. So if you don't meet these people in person, chances are, and like me, I have this show. Most scammers don't have a show. They're not going to show their face, right? So I hope you can trust in me and my advice to know I'm not trying to take advantage of you, right? So little things to look for with maybe people that you're about to trade with or people that are trying to get you to do something that you don't feel comfortable doing. Chances are it's a scam, all right? So be diligent, everybody. Be diligent. My heart goes out to all the people who've been compromised. It sucks, whether or not, there's been a lot of FUDs saying, hey, this is tax loss harvesting, yada, yada, yada. Whatever the case, it sucks. Yo, GM Neil. Kind of going off topic here, but today we were talking about the Moral Monkey Mob, which is a contest we ran last year and we'll continue to run. The changes for the year, kind of holding myself accountable as to why I had to go back on my word, as well as just went off on a security rant, given the Kevin Rose hack and other hacks that have happened. Hacks, right? I call them user error more than hacks, because a hack involves your system being compromised and taken control of, right? In most cases, that's the definition of a hack, or your database was penetrated. And information was found, right? Like that's the true hack. I got hacked by me clicking on a link. That's not I got hacked. That's user error. I'm an idiot. Hate to say it, but we all got to learn, right? So, and we all got to learn the hard way. Just, less of the victim mindset though, because, you see a lot of people getting hacked and then asking for money from the community. I just, I have reservations on that. I get it. It's a tough thing, but that's what I'm here for. I want to help you not get hacked. So whatever questions I can do to answer to help you understand better, like just shoot on this video, shoot in the Discord. And yeah, it's close to an end of the episode, but thanks for catching it, Neil. Hope you're doing well. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Hope you have a great weekend. I'll catch you in the Cozy Labs, in the Cozy Penguins Discord. I'm sure we'll hop on some Overwatch. I'm going to be playing some Dookie Dash on the show. The time isn't scheduled, but I will be streaming live at some point this weekend. Whether it's a few hours, 4 hours, or 10 hours, I'm not sure, but I'm going to go ham on this game, try to get the highest score I possibly can with a tier 2 pass, and take it from there. So with that, this has been another episode of BitmonkeyTV's Good Morning HODLers. I think that's the third time I've done this, trying to close this episode out. Let's go. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. If you're just now finding the show this year, appreciate you. I'm excited for this next 100 episodes. We're rocking and rolling. The reason I started numbering these episodes 4 digits is because I fully intend on getting to 1,000 plus. So we're in it for the long haul. If you have any comments, feedback, suggestions on maybe new content, new episodes that you'd like to see, or certain topics you'd like to see me covered, or maybe you want to see me bring certain people on the show, let me know. I'll make it happen. We're doing this for you, selfishly for me, but more for you. It's time to teach people how not, to get hacked. That's a big, ending to this episode for sure. Yeah, you have a good day too. All right, hit that like, subscribe if you found any value, share this with your friends, and until the next one, peace. I'm gonna leave this downtime. You're gonna see 2 cubes, one here. You'll see a circle in the middle. Hit that subscribe. Go watch the most recent, go watch the recommended if you have the spare time. And with that, peace.